You're listening to Interactive Wrestling Radio, featuring the Interactive Interview, courtesy of WrestlingEpicenter.com. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of Interactive Wrestling Radio right here from the Wrestling Epicenter, WrestlingEpicenter.com. It is I, your master of ceremonies, Mr. James Walsh, joining you once again for the first time in a little bit, this time with a guest who completes a few collections of ours. First of all, she is one of the original Beautiful People, and by my count, that makes the fourth member of the Beautiful People, because we had Madison Rayne on first, Velvet Sky on second, Lacey Von Erich third, and now Angelina Love, and she also completes the collection of the Allure. Mandy Leone joined us first, Velvet Sky second, and of course, now Angelina Love joins WrestlingEpicenter.com for the first time for an interview, and here's hoping it's not the last, because she is a legend who happens to be a kid in my book, because I am 3 days older than her. September 10th, 1981. You do the math on the rest of that. Angelina Love will be competing at NWA 74 in the Mildred Burke Battle Royal, where the winner gets the challenge that night. The winner of Taya Valkyrie and Kamille for the NWA World Women's Championship. Of course, you can catch that on Fight TV or check out the NWA's official website, NationalWrestlingAlliance.com, to find viewing options for the live event happening later this month. You can follow the links on WrestlingEpicenter.com, or, of course, you could do what everybody else does and Google it. And, guys, if you haven't already done so, please hit that subscribe button, the notifications bell, hit the like button, give us a comment, do something here to show YouTube and their overlords that you like what we do here on the Wrestling Epicenter YouTube page, and really want to grow this environment and keep doing what we've been doing for 20 years now. Interview number 808. Unbelievable, and it's one that we've been waiting for a while. Angelina Love, here on the Wrestling Epicenter. Check out WrestlingEpicenter.com. Click the store button, buy something, keep us going free and clear. We could use it. We got classic wrestling DVDs. We got the Women of Wrestling. We've got AEW and WWE action figures, official Impact Wrestling merchandise, and a whole lot of other goodies, WWE merchandise as well. WrestlingEpicenter.com, and click the store link or go straight to WrestlingEpicenter.com/Zen. That's it for me, guys. I'm done. Let's get to the special interview here on WrestlingEpicenter.com and YouTube.
Hey guys, this is Velvet Sky, and you're listening to Wrestling Epicenter.
Welcome back to Interactive Wrestling Radio. Joining us on the Newsmaker line right now is the third member of the Beautiful People to join our show. Actually, she's the fourth, if you strip it right down. And the third member of the Allure to join us. Somebody we wanted to have on, but maybe we saved the best for last. Of course, I'm talking about Angelina Love. Are you with me, ma'am?
Yes, that is the best way to look at it, I think.
That's absolutely the best way to look at it. And it's great to have you on the show. I was doing my research for this, and we're different in age by 3 days. That's it. So that's.
Are you the 10th or the 16th?
I'm the 10th.
Okay,
so it's coming.
I have two other friends who are the 10th as well.
Yes, it must be a good astrological sign or something like that. There you go.
Yes, Virgo. Absolutely.
Virgos,
Are you a perfectionist?
I am a perfectionist. Yes, I am. I'll be editing my intro later on to get rid of my little stutter. So there you go. All right. So, of course, the reason we're having you on the show today, let's start out with the NWA. The NWA is having their 74th birthday, speaking of birthdays, and that anniversary show will feature the Mildred Burke Battle Royal, and you're going to be part of that. That's such a cool tribute and nod to history for those who know, or who all should know, who Mildred Burke is. How cool is it to be heading to the NWA to take part in that Battle Royal?
Oh, it's very cool. I'm honored to be a part of it. And August is my 22-year anniversary of being in this business, the 18th actually. So It's really cool to be in a vet battle royal dedicated to a female vet. So it's awesome.
Absolutely. And you've been around, as you said, for wrestling for quite some time now. And what made you fall in love with this business? Because back in the early 2000s, there wasn't a whole lot of options for women in wrestling, not like there is today. And you're part of the reason why there is, but we'll get to that in a moment.
I just loved it ever since I saw it. And I was very young when I first started watching it. Very athletic my whole life. So I don't know, I just went for it. I just go for things when I want them. And I just knew it was like my entire life. So there wasn't a way of like not looking for ways to pursue it or to follow it. So I just did. And yeah, there was barely any girls in it when I first started, but I started so young. I was 18. So I feel like I've always had the understanding that it's like a male-dominated business, and that's perfectly fine. That never intimidated me or scared me when I was young, still doesn't to this day. I've been able to be a woman reaching great success in a quote-unquote man's business. So, you can always follow and accomplish your dreams if you just put in the time and the hard work.
That's awesome. And I know you've talked ad nauseum about your time in the WWE developmental system. I won't ask you too much about that, except to say the one thing that always comes to mind when I think of you in WWE is a friend of mine, and probably a friend of yours, is Mike Bucci. Simon Dean.
Nova.
Everybody,
I still call him Nova.
He's Nova, that's right. And he always says, whenever he takes questions on his Facebook page and all that, that the hardest thing he ever had to do in wrestling was make the phone call to let you know that you were released from WWE. Any thoughts on Mike Bucci? Because he's one of my favorite humans.
Yeah, well, I met Nova when I was 19. We were doing Scott D'Amore's BCW shows in Windsor, Ontario. And he was still long-haired, pleather pants wearing ECW Nova. So for me, it's like I usually just call people by just like either however I meet them or just whatever sits with me. So he's always just been Nova to me. And I don't know if he told you, but I thought he was kidding. Because there was a time, it was probably just a few months prior to that, where I was going up to TV with the Shane twins. They were doing like that Gemini gimmick.
That's right, yeah.
He had called me jokingly, acting like he had to release me, but it was like, you got me. And then, and obviously that idea didn't pan out, but when I got released, it was a Thursday and I was supposed to go to TV the following Tuesday. So when he called me, I was like, haha, like, the good joke, we've done this already. And he just said, Williams, listen to the sound of my voice. Do I sound like I'm messing with you? And then I was like, wait a minute, what? But I mean, I guess if there's any good to getting a phone call like that, it's like, at least it's from a friend or somebody you've known forever, someone who has like feelings behind it, and so, yeah, it was probably just as hard on him to do it as it was for me to hear it.
But as we said at the beginning of this conversation, everything happens for a reason. And one of those things that did happen was the Knockouts division. Madison Rayne was my 600th interview a few years ago. And when I had her on, she hated this question, but I'm still going to ask it because I think it holds some value. And that is, do you think that the Knockouts division are really the catalyst, the reason why there was a women's revolution as we've come to know it today?
Absolutely. I think that's a no-brainer. Just because of like the time, because, just as we say, everything happens for a reason, right place, right time, right people, right? So It took me a while because like I've always wanted to be in WWE, saw myself as being a WWE diva, wanted to have my WrestleMania moment ever since I was a kid. So when I kind of realized that wasn't happening, it took me probably a few years of being in TNA to be like, oh, like this is what I was supposed to do. Because like Velvet and I and, you know, quite a few other knockouts that started the division, we were able to travel the world and become household names without having like that WWE machine behind us. And I think that is like an extra pat on the back, you know? So yeah, especially back in like '07, there wasn't a ton going on, but it was a lot of Diva Search girls. It was still a lot of bra and panties stuff. Like the women were still the bathroom break matches. And we were, thankfully, and I'll always have so much love and respect for Jeff Jarrett and Dutch Mantell and Vince Russo and everybody who was behind. They were just like, we are just going to go with this direction with the women's division, and it's either going to sink or it's going to swim, and we're just going to see how it goes, and we're going to give the girls the spotlight and this and that. And I mean, obviously it worked out for the best. And we were also doing like the sexier, edgier things, which you have to have in pro wrestling, when WWE was just deciding to go PG. And it's like, PG don't work in wrestling, just my opinion. So I think that if you just look at the ratings that we were getting, that's what people still wanted to see, because that's pro wrestling, right? The sexy, the edgy. So, yeah, I think absolutely 100% the Knockouts division was the catalyst for sure. And I'm so, it's something so amazing that nobody can ever take away from us. I'm so grateful and just forever astonished that I was able to be a part of the beginning of that.
Very cool. You kind of touched on my next question. You must be reading my form as I'm going down my list here. And that is balancing sex appeal and being taken seriously by the male audience as athletes as well. And you guys managed to do that. Of course, the ring entrance was a huge part of why everybody loved when the Beautiful People came out. But then you stayed for the match because the match was going to kick ass too. Is that a difficult thing to do, or do you think that sometimes it goes too more towards the appearance and not enough substance in the ring?
No, and I loved that. I fed off of that because I understand that, just me specifically, like this is me and Velvet together, but I'm just speaking for me specifically. I understand that I have a very judgeable cover to my book with the way I look, you know what I mean? And that's fine, because I've always wanted to have this look. So I've always known and been very confident in my abilities and capabilities, to where I'm like, I have no problem having people look at me and be like, oh, she's blonde, she's got fake boobs, she's got tattoos, she probably sucks because she's hot. So I used to love, like I would feed off of people thinking that way about me, and then get in the ring and completely kick ass too, and just make people just make their jaws drop and be like, oh my God. And I'm like, yes, thank you. I can do that too.
Yeah, it's awesome. Absolutely. And the Beautiful People, when I think of the Beautiful People, I know that I said there's 4 of them, but the 2 that come to mind are you and Velvet together. That seems to be where the most chemistry was.
Yes.
How did you guys end up kind of clicking the way that you did?
We're so, you know, we have a lot of differences, but we have a lot of very strong, similar things in our personalities, our sense of humor. When I had done like a couple indies with Velvet prior to me going to WWE, and then she had come in for like a week-long tryout, and we just always got along. And then we did I got released. We did like another indie together, and then we were obviously both 2 of the originals that were contacted to start the Knockouts division. So like, I think when they were first booking us for TV, they were pairing us together in hotel rooms. And I think they asked us, like, is there anybody you know or anybody you would want to? And I think we said each other. So we were immediately rooming together, you know, and we're ridiculous. We love to laugh. We would dress the same. We were both wearing like the short skirts and, you know, TV makeup, TV hair, spray glitter. We just had a lot of similarities, and we were, through traveling together and rooming together, really getting to know each other well. So when it was when we were all new there, and it was like, okay, you know, there's so many new girls. Everybody's trying to figure out like what they are, what their character is, what their place is. Are they babyface? Are they heel? And that's when we just decided, like, let's be a team. Let's be like a little group team thing, like Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie in The Simple Life meets the Mean Girls kind of thing. And just the way that we looked and the way that we dressed, it fit the character idea. And then, you know, Vince Russo, once again, I don't care what anybody else thinks about him. We love him. He was so easy to talk to and work with. He was such a good creative collaboration with us when we were like, hey, this is what we're thinking. This is what we want to do, blah, blah, blah. So it was very easy to get all that stuff sorted out. And it obviously worked. So it was just meant to be.
Very cool. I hope you don't mind. I'm not playing the gotcha game, but I noticed you thanked Jeff Jarrett and Dutch Mantell and Vince Russo, but you left one name out, and I'm kind of curious your take on Dixie Carter.
Don't say it.
I said it. Okay. I guess I could take it from that then, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I've done enough interviews where I've said what I feel about her and all, you know, the things that she did, and it's like, not really positive. So.
All right. Well, the end days of Impact were kind of interesting too, where you and Velvet got to do your program. That was kind of good to see, but the ending seemed like it was bittersweet. Yeah.
We hated it.
Didn't like how it came out, where she was doing the more denim wearing biker chick kind of thing?
We just always hated working against each other because it was just never in our souls, you know?
Okay.
We would always do what we needed to do business wise because we're good company girls. But, you know, we never wanted to not be the beautiful people and feud against each other.
What's your thoughts on Impact now?
I'm not going to lie, I do not have cable. So I don't catch it. I just catch the internet. And I'm just glad to see it going. Like, I know so many people there. I'm so happy that everyone has jobs and everyone's having fun and they're still kicking it. And, you know, that I think it's awesome.
Awesome. Excellent. So we all saw your return to Ring of Honor. You had been there once before, but the big return was at Madison Square Garden. Such a huge way to make an impact when you debut or re-debut for a company. Thoughts on Supercard of Honor when you made your debut and formed the Allure?
Well, it's funny because I don't think a lot of people knew that would be considered like a re-debut for me because it was 15 years in between. But it was cool because it's like MSG, like that was a definite bucket list thing that we were able to check off. So it was like, damn, like getting to come out in a new company. No one knew. We had to keep the secret. It was so hard. But yeah, Madison Square Garden, WrestleMania weekend, like you really can't get any better than that. So it was really cool. It was an awesome vibe. Like you just feel the energy in the building. The building was packed. So it was definitely, you know, no pun intended, Supercard of Honor. It was an honor to be there, be a part of it, be at Madison Square Garden. So it was really fun.
Yeah, I hope you don't mind me asking this, but from the outside looking in, and I was a guy that I was lucky enough have a good relationship with Mark Driscoll, and Ring of Honor seemed to approve of my interviews and all that. But from the guy still on the outside looking in, doing interviews with the guys, it just seemed like it was chaos, both because of the pandemic, maybe still reeling a little bit from the loss of the Elite, Kelly Klein's situation, which we don't have to go into if you don't want to. But really. Was it chaotic backstage at Ring of Honor, or was that not really what was going on back there?
I mean, a little bit, but I don't try to stick my nose into things, you know what I mean? I know that a lot of people had wished that there was a bit more direction, but I mean, it's extremely fair to say that the pandemic threw a lot off for everybody everywhere. The only thing I never understood is why we never had people back when everybody else was starting to have people back. We were still doing like empty arena tapings. And to me, that was like, well, I mean, the company could be making money right now if they were having people come back, and people want to come back. So that was just the one thing that I never understood.
And it was weird because the pay-per-view had people, and then you went back to TV with no people. And it was kind of like, whoa, that's kind of strange.
Yeah, I have no answer for that.
All right. So unfortunately, we all saw Ring of Honor disappear a little bit. Maybe everybody kind of got the same letter, and now it's owned by AEW. What is your thoughts of the current incarnation of Ring of Honor and the fact that it's now owned by a larger company like AEW?
Listen, I love Ring of Honor. I always have. And I just hope that it becomes a big, wonderful, amazing thing again. It's another place for everybody to have jobs, which is important. And I thought Death Before Dishonor was great. A lot of guys got to go back and do their thing there. And it looked like it was a great pay-per-view, and everybody had fun. Everybody that I talked to had fun. So I really, really hope. I would love to do Ring of Honor there. That would be great. I'm just excited for it. And I hope that it becomes awesome again.
I hope so too. And speaking of awesome, here we are. We're heading into NWA 74. You're going to more than likely have Velvet Sky calling your match, which is kind of cool. What is your thoughts heading into this major event coming up here at the end of the month?
I'm very excited. Like I said, I love being a part of things that are a part of history. So I think it'll be really fun. NWA has such a great vibe in the locker room, and just with the way that they do shows. I can't say enough good things about like Billy Corgan. I just loved him way before NWA. But and then like they're starting to like say beautiful people and do like beautiful people stuff with me and Velvet. So like that kind of like makes us so happy inside, because we're like, oh my God, like they love it. And this is our 15th year as the Beautiful People. So to still be doing this and having all of the love and support and people still wanting to see it, like that'll never not touch our hearts and mean everything to us, So I'm just so happy to be a part of this monumental pay-per-view and everything that it stands for. I'm just very blessed and very thankful.
Awesome. Are you planning on sticking around NWA after the big pay-per-view?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I did their tapings in March, did their tapings in June. I'll do these shows. So I would definitely be doing future shows with them.
All right. So I guess you already answered this. I was going to ask, what is your thoughts on Billy Corgan's image for the NWA? I talked to Tyrus about 2 months ago, and he says, I'm getting on them. I want them to be on TV. They need to be on TV. They need 605 TV spot and things like that. And it sounds like there are some people in his ear trying to kind of push you guys to getting on the traditional television to reach the larger audience. Do you think that is something that is still needed in the modern era?
Oh, yeah. There's never anything wrong with that. I mean, you're just getting more exposure. I don't think there's a negative to that. But, I seriously trust Billy Corgan completely. Creative genius is like the first thing that always comes to my mind when you speak of Billy Corgan. Like it's hard to understand like the depth of how smart he is and how creative he is. I mean, being in the music industry for like 30 years or however long he's been a part of it, that's a hard business to navigate. And he's always, everybody still loves Smashing Pumpkins. Everybody still wants to see him perform. He's still doing tours of Jane's Addiction and all kinds of stuff. So it's like, and he's a huge wrestling fan too, and he's got a great understanding of it. So he already has that entertainment business background, and being a fan in his background coming into doing this, it's like, to me, it's like a match made in heaven.
Awesome. And of course, this is also exciting time for wrestling because not only do we have Impact still going, not only do we have the NWA still going, AEW and Ring of Honor, their subsidiaries still going, but there's big changes in WWE. One of your least favorite people, I would assume, is John Laurinaitis. He's out, and whole new leadership in WWE. Do you think it could be a good thing specifically for the women of WWE to have this new direction?
Yeah, I think it'll be wonderful for everybody, women and men. Look what Triple H did with NXT. Mm-hmm. And I would once again, I don't know, but I would like to assume that, everybody going in there probably felt very comfortable with him. And obviously nothing but deep rooted respect for him. So I think, like if Hunter was back in there doing Triple H things. And I mean, there's a lot that needs to be fixed. You know, every company has scum that needs to be washed out. And it's amazing to kind of see this happening in WWE in real time, because I've been watching it my whole life. You know what I mean? So I adore Triple H. I am beyond excited to see what happens. Well, look at all the people that have come back already, you know, and they'll be pushed properly where they weren't before. So I think it's super exciting.
This was not on my list of questions, and we have just one more after this one, so I'll let you go on with your day. I promised I wouldn't keep you too long. During an NXT show, right around the time that your stuff with Impact was kind of starting to reach an end, there was a video on the Titantron that was fan cell phone shot, like teasing the beautiful people, and it never really came about. Was there any there, or was it just a kind of a happenstance thing to see how people would react?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Hey, remember that question earlier when I said, am I a perfectionist? This won't make the final cut.
Yeah, I don't know. There was something that said the beautiful people?
Yeah, they did it. They put on the screen at one of the NXT shows at the at that little
Oh my
you know
gosh,
what I mean, the place in
no,
Orlando. Yeah.
I've seen that. One of my friends tagged me in that on Facebook. I think I saw that and I was like, was that real? No, I mean, nobody was talking to us, so I don't know what that was. Yeah,
I wonder if they were just gauging, like, if anybody, stirred in the crowd, what the reaction would be. But maybe. And my final question is kind of a gimme. It's a chance to plug your social medias and your brand army and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, so my Twitter is at Actual A-Love. Facebook is private, so sorry. Instagram, A-Love, the number 4, life, 222. And yes, my brand army exclusive content. It is not OnlyFans, but it is like OnlyFans. It's OnlyFans without the stigma. So it's just AngelinaForever.com.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to do this with me. Before I let you go, can I ask for one last favor from you?
Sure.
You probably know what it'll be, but can I get a station ID just saying this is Angelina Love and you're listening to the Wrestling Epicenter?
Is that it?
That's it, yeah. Any spin you want to put on it as well.
Wrestling Epicenter, just write it down. Okay. Do you want to tell me when or just anytime?
Sure, I'll do the Wayne's World countdown here. 5, 4, 3, 2.
What's up, everyone? It is one half of the beautiful people, Angelina Love, and you are listening to the Wrestling Epicenter.
All right. Still, yeah, just like you said about Vince Russo, you're still one take. Perfect.
I know, that was our thing. We live to try to do that every single time.
All right. Well, I want to thank you again. This was well worth the wait, and I really do appreciate you taking the time of doing this with me.
Thank you. I appreciate it as well.
All right. Talk to you soon. Good luck on NWA 74.
Thank you. Have a good day.
This is Interactive Wrestling Radio.
Interactive Wrestling Radio. Interactive Wrestling Radio. Interactive Wrestling Radio. Interactive Wrestling Radio. Interactive Wrestling Radio. Interactive Wrestling Radio. Oh, Rush.
Featuring the interactive interview.
Interactive interview. Interactive interview. Interactive interview. Interactive interview. Interactive interview. Interactive interview. Oh, yeah.
Formerly The Blaze.
The Blaze. The Blaze. The Blaze. The Blaze. The Blaze. The Blaze. The Blaze. The Blaze. The Blaze. The Blaze rock.
Yo, Maniacs, so what you gonna do when the Blaze of Maniacs runs wild on you?
On WrestlingEpicenter.com.
Wrestling Epicenter.
Wrestling
Epicenter. Wrestling
Epicenter.
Wrestling Epicenter.
Wrestling Epicenter. The Wrestling Epicenter. Don't get off.
And now we shamelessly name drop from our history.
The Wrestling Epicenter would like to apologize for the following.
All right, everybody. Viva la raza. Viva la raza.
Hey, y'all.
Hello, ladies.
Hey, guys. We had a lovely conversation. First lady, absolutely. Oh, look at me. She's so kooky. Be there.
Where else?
Interactive Wrestling Radio. Wrestling Epicenter. Oh, my God.
But you win!
Love being interactive.
Whoa! I just got to know. Listen! I was not shooting. Yeah, I almost missed my pants. Breaking neck. I got 2 words for you. I've heard a lot about you guys. Let's go. I see my language. You're going to go to the shop. I see them now. Into the many.
No nerves.
That was great. It's going to be cool. Woo! What it's all about. The purest point of view. The living legend. Champion. Arrogance.
This makes me.
Instead of statement, I'm talking to you.
So lonely without you.
In the land of extreme.
Testify. Nevermore. Interactive. Interview. I'm not just the best. Interactive. Interview with a plastic.
You earn the right.
Nobody. You better keep listening. Thank you very much. Controversy creates cash. Professional wrestling.
Made in the USA, baby.
Memphis wrestling. The guy on fire.
We were sexy.
What a show.
One and only.
Interactive Wrestling Radio.
Wrestling
Epicenter.
Interactive interview. We took care of the business. This isn't ballet. We are huge. You're where it's at. You better recognize who's the best. Make sure to tune in each and every week. I'll come out of your computer. Knock down your door and turn it on for you. Or else I'm going to kick your stinking teeth in. And that's the bottom line.
Have a nice day.
It's showtime!
Don't forget to like and subscribe.